dog food, dog food, dog food. Fuck off, pork pie. Good evening, viewer, and welcome to episode 90.10.9 of SOTD, where we still don't have any writers or vocal talent. Our first game this week saw Newcastle host Brentford, who lost the game 5-1. Pork pie? Eddie Howe? Yes, goodbye. Oh, okay. And this is why writing contributors are required. Eddie Howe is a nice, clean-cut, plain-speaking, coherent manager who has no quirks, drink or drug problems, which makes him nigh on impossible to write for. Unlike Thomas Frank. Hello, Tommy. 5-1 loss. What happened? We kind of forget that it's relatively important to not make 1, 2, 3 or 4 mistakes while participating in the Premier League. Mistakes such as getting on the coach at our training ground is one mistake. Getting off the coach at St James's Park was another. But I think our biggest mistake today was walking out onto the pitch just before 3 p.m. Gary! On the subject of managers needlessly getting on a coach and travelling to an away game, Brendan Rodgers took Leicester to Bournemouth and lost 2-1. Pork pie? Brenda! You scored a goal! You scored a goal! You scored a goal! You scored a goal! Then they scored 2. You're proper crap. £20 million payoff, dearie. What are we going to do about Bournemouth? Is Gary O'Neill getting Scott Parker's job on a permanent basis? Can we spend money drawing and colourising Gary O'Neill? Or are they going to give the job to someone else during the World Cup? Have we got a spare baldy beardy manager that we can use as a stand-in or stunt double? Sean Dyche. That'll do for now. Gary! Okay, this year's league champions hosted Southampton, and for the third game in succession, the team got off the coach and walked onto the pitch. Pork pie? Pep! Why you don't like to talk to me, pork pie? Because I'm not interested in spending 38 weeks listening to you drivel on about your team is average, when you've already added to a title-winning squad with a mutant goal scorer that, in all honesty, you didn't actually need. I mean, with Haaland playing at Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool or Man United, at least the league would have been interesting this season. But we are not champions. We are below Arsenal. Arsenal are an elephant sitting on top of a tree. Nobody knows how they got there, but everybody knows they will not stay there for long. Ralphie boy, you turned up, gave it a go and only lost 4-0, which is fairly respectable given that you were playing Man City. Well, I think damage limitation was good today, but we were unable to score ourselves, as James Ward-Prowse cannot be involved in goal scoring or goal making while he is playing in front of our back 8. Gary! Chelsea hosted Wolves and beat them 3-0. It was fun to see Diego Costa waddling around the pitch to his standing ovation at Stamford Bridge. Pork pie? Potter trotter. My grandmother could beat Wolves 3-0 and she's been dead for a couple of decades. Oh, we like stiffs. Good Lord. Steve Davis. Hang on, this is football, not snooker. Gary! Hell in a handcart. Brighton hosted the mighty Spurs, who once again were not that mighty, but got the job done with a 1-0 win. Pork pie? Antonio Mourinho, 1-0, and you park the bus. And got 3 points. De Zerbi, is he getting a job? Can we draw him up? Anyone? Gary! Well, with so many sacked managers, my job is slightly easier. West Ham hosted Fulham and beat them 3-1. Happy Pie met the managers. Moisey! Finally, we're back on track and racking up those points. Double figure tally, 13th in the league and moving away from the dreaded drop zone. Hey, well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I don't care what chocolate bar it is. I'm loving it like McDonald's. The fuck are you talking about, big man? Marco! You don't have to sound so happy to me, man. Oh, yes, I do, mate. Ha! Gary! Crystal Palace hosted Leeds and won 2-1. Port Pie. Vieira. Hello? 2-1 win, 3 points in the bag, 15th in the league. Game in hand to play, which could bump you up to 8th. What's with the improvement? I spoke with my old teammate. I now have my own process. Jesse, dropping points like bacon baps at a bar mitzvah. Still feel safe in your job? Only we're closing in on a World Cup, and it's not like the England squad are banged out with your players now, is it? Shit. Gary! Okay, Pork Pie. Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-2. Do you want to hear Arteta bang on about his process finally working as Troops goes around calling the Mandems a ham roll? Not particularly. Well then how about Klopp? Maybe you'd like to hear him prattle on about the pitch having too much grass, the 18-yard outlines being too white, the match ball containing too much leather, followed by an instruction to get to a helicopter. Nah. Okay, Everton hosted Man United. United won the game 2-1. Pork Pie met the managers. Just fuck off, alright? We're shit. We probably won't get relegated, but then we probably won't get into the top half of the table either. And I probably won't be here after the World Cup. Okay? Frank Lampard, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Eric Ten Hag. You played Ronaldo and you got a goal out of him. Could last week's 6-3 drubbing by Man City have been better for you had Ronaldo been on the pitch instead of the bench? You think that Ronaldo could have got us a win or even a draw against Manchester City? Your head is having a wobble. Your brains are inside a pinball machine, going a bing-a-bing-a-ding-a-ding. Ronaldo is good, but Haaland is different gravy. So stop talking shit. Gary, our final game this week is Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa. And after the shithousery that Leicester pulled against Forest last Monday, I'm going to wait for the game to finish. And there you have it. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. Pork Pie. Cooper, boring game, boring score, but at least that point got you off the foot of the table, because your goal difference ain't cutting it. For my next trick, vanishing act. Slippy G, boring game, boring result. Next time, I'd like you to do us a favour and end the game as a 0-0 draw so we don't have to waste our time covering it. I will never get used to that voice coming out of that face. Sorry about the poor performance in tonight's game, but I've had a word with the players and I've told them to quit football and get into newspaper publishing. You've what? Well, they've been better off writing headlines than being headlines, as their stories are a bit depressing, really. And for the talent that they're supposed to have, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, Coutinho is a useless shot stopper, Watkins is a proper one, eh? And Mings could eat a cow's arse with a banjo. I'd expect more, really. Play them in position and you might get more. Gary! Okay, well, with all of this week's games done and dusted, we'll see you next week for more of the same. Good night. Oi, not so fast, you jacket gits. Sorry, Pork Pie, can't hear you over the music for the end credits. Oh, you bet-welching bastard.
Harry Maguire!
You're a bum, Dosser, and that's how it is. You ain't ready! You're not ready, Dosser, are you? I stood right in front of you, I said hit me. You wouldn't even have a spar, you big Dosser. You got power, have you? You think you can hit a bit? Let me feel it. Yeah, you look like a Dosser.